About 11 years ago, I used to live in a small house that neighbored a cemetery. I was only 12 at the time, so this arrangement was slightly unnerving, particularly when I go to stay up during the summer when school is out. If I look out into the graveyard around 3 in the morning, I could see shadows moving. For a long time, I didn't know what they were or what they wanted, but eventually took to calling them graveyard people. The graveyard people had a little ritual they would always do. They would always go to a grave, this was a different grave every night, grab something, and then turn back into the mausoleum that sat in the center of the cemetery. For a few months, I would stay up just to watch them. After all, they stayed only in the cemetery and never seemed to notice me when I was watching through the blinds. I had always been careful to darken my room when watching them, so I didn't leave my silhouette in the window. However, in early August of that year, I had a nightmare. I can't remember what it was now, but it made me utterly afraid to have a light off that night. Despite this, I wanted a last look at the graveyard people before school forced me to sleep before they awoke with their strange ritual. So, I pressed my luck. I slipped my head in the window. A scream caught in my throat. One of the graveyard people was at my window, staring at me with his gray, hound-like face. It stared perfectly still, with a half-eaten, half-rotted limb in one hand. I was frozen. As I snorted a hot breath into the window, making fog on the glass. Then it took a long finger and wrote in the glass, "You should be sleeping." For years afterward, I refused to stay up late, and if I did, I at least pretended to sleep. I've moved several times in the years since. Always different reasons. Nothing supernatural, though. My moves brought me a full circle. I'm in college now, and I live across the cemetery once more. And occasionally, if I'm up late enough and dare look out my window, I can make out the shadows of the graveyard people. I wonder if they ever look back to see if I'm watching. Okay, that was pretty epic. Then again, second story that said that the guy said, "Hey, narrate this for me," and again, it was not garbage. This was really good. Cliches was to a minimum. I mean, they did talk about gore a little bit, which is always a cliche, but I mean, I don't think you can have a good creepypasta without at least a little bit in there. And I mean, 3 in the morning, that's a cliche. But then again, it was placed in there so well that you wouldn't even notice. It was very descriptive. I could picture that undead thing. For me, I pictured like a zombie and a possessed person, kind of like mixed together, and that's what this thing looked like. So yeah, all around it was very good. It was short and sweet. I'm making it longer right now than it has to be. Procrastinating. But if you can, check out my 120 sub celebration. It's really good. It's a Ben Drowned gameplay. There's actually a PC game of it. And just check out 6 minutes of me pooping myself. I mean, if it's 6 minutes wasted, it's just 6 minutes, right? What are you doing now? Wasting your time with a creepypasta, so you might as well waste your time with a awesome gameplay too. Well, thank you for watching. I am going to hit F10 now.